この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Bakemonogatari, episode 13. So, viewers, last time we watched the first two episodes of this final arc of Bake, 11 and 12. So, we're going to finish Bakemonogatari. No, that's wrong. That's not how it goes. Shall we finish Bakemonogatari? How about we finish Bakemonogatari? We're going to finish Bakemonogatari. Last time on Bake, we had the first two episodes of this arc, and they were very different. One of them was focused mostly on Araragi and Hanekawa, with Nadeko thrown in there for a little bit of stuff, and took a step back to give us some of the backstory and fill in some of the blanks around Hanekawa's previous, what do I call them? Previous interactions with oddities. The Golden Week last year, where she was taken over by her own kind of internal stress demon, the dark Hanekawa, who appears as a white cat that goes out and seeks to drain energy from other people. And then Aragi baited that cat and had Shinobu sink her teeth into Hanekawa, cat form Hanekawa, and suck out lots of energy. So she returned to normal and forgot all about the whole incident. But it seems to be happening again, or at least we suspect that it might be happening again. So, gonna have to figure that out. The second episode, episode 12, was very different because it focuses entirely around, no oddities rear their heads here, but it focuses entirely on Senjokahara and Araragi going on a date. I believe it's their first actual date besides like study date type stuff. So a lot on the line here, and some great, I guess, subversion of expectations regarding Senjokahara's father, who is presented to us, or, from our perspective as Araragi, from our point of view, as this sort of scary figure watching over her, and we find out that he's really quite cool, and happy with what his daughter is doing, and is pretty chill with Araragi at the moment. So that was kind of beautiful. It's kind of lovely, and the actual conversation between Senjokahara and Araragi was absolutely lovely and made the episode really come together as a kind of a beautiful picture of a young, growing romance, as they sit out under the stars, and Senjokahara opens her heart a little bit to Araragi, tells him about some of the darker things in her past, some of the baggage that she carries with her, emotional and a little bit of psychological trauma in there. And then offers him everything she has, everything she can. Finally ending off with the starry sky that means so much to her. It was pretty damn beautiful. So, that's an interesting pair of episodes to start off an arc. Because the first one fits for an arc start, We set up one of the characters who we've already met, and their potential interaction with an oddity. So we've got an idea of the scope of things, and so do our characters. And then we jump from that to like a little isolated story, a little date. We'll see if anything from the date carries forward into the next 3 episodes. I figure there will be something of interest here. And it might be something. Well, one of the themes that we've been bringing up repeatedly and talking about quite a bit is Aragi's overwillingness to help people. We saw it in Nautico Snake a little bit when he was kind of distraught at the idea of letting one of the snakes go because he knew it would hurt somebody, and he doesn't want that on his conscience. So he's super willing to put himself into harm's way in order to protect other people. And Hanekawa has been the main the main character who has brought this up as a potential flaw in Aragi's character and potentially something that could get in between him and Senjogahara, especially if he's always going off and helping cute girls do stuff with oddities. That could be a bit of an issue. Given the strength of that theme, I'm going to guess that that's exactly what's going to happen. And there will be some conflict between Senjogahara and Araragi caused by his attempts to save Hanakawa if we get there. But that's pretty conjecture-y at this point, because we've only had one episode that really focused on the oddity of the arc, and most of it was told in flashback, and we're still not quite sure whether Hanakawa is still or is going to again become the White Cat. I figure she will. But to find out, we're going to have to finish Bakemonogatari. Blah! We're going to have to finish Bakemonogatari. So let's do that. Let's get into episode 13. I've got it up. It's at 0 seconds. There will be multiple versions of this reaction video. Picture-in-picture versions with the video up there will be in the description down there. Timer-based version will be on YouTube. That's what you're watching now. It'll have discussion after each episode. And a beep beep timer at the beginning of each episode for your syncing purposes. And because this will be a 3-episode dealio, I will try to remember to put timestamps in the description so that if you go and watch the picture-in-picture version, you can come back and like quickly skip to where the discussion is for each episode. Should be helpful. I'll try to remember. Anyway, I need headphones. Got headphones. Let's do the thing. I've got the episode up. I already said all of that, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay. Well, beep beep timer goes here. And this episode is a couple minutes longer than the others. It's 26:14 for episode 13. Okay, cool. Oh, and I think I'm working with the A&E modified subs, so the V4 or whatever. So we should be good on sub front. In any case, beep beep timer goes here. Who's that? This is Hachikuji's place. Aragi humming after a good date. Happy boy. Mm-hmm. Aw. Oh, hello. You can play a prank on her? Whoa. Whoa. Aragi, please. Oh. Mm. Yep, that's her. So we're immediately bringing that up, are we? Fair enough. Fair enough. Wagging like a little dog. We've been letterboxed this whole time. Yeah. Away from Oshino? Is this normal? Yeah. Doesn't seem like something he would do. But we don't know Oshino that well. Yeah, that'll do it. What do you have to do? I'm sure. Papua New Guinea, Canada, Urbanum. Argentina. Don't laugh. This time the cat ears are black? I think I saw that. Okay. Whoa. Repetition and patterns. Lovely. Senjo? Yep. Blushes. Thanks. Uh. Yet a. Oh, she's too good. Is that the hat that Nautico was wearing? Or was hers a different color? I think it was a different color. Hmm. Hmm. So why the hat? Cat pajamas. Eh. Oh. Yeah, how much do you remember? Okay. There's something weird going on with Hoshino and Shinobu, though. Oh, there's that too. Okay. Yeah. Is that funny though? Explaining jokes, eh? Why is she wearing the hat? Yeah, that was a strange tangent. Oh. Ah. Still. Then do it. Oh, shit. Wow. Okay. He called her his savior. How so? What have we got? Black cat ears. Okay. Because we dealt with it once. But the different color of the ears indicates something. She's figured quite a bit out. Hmm. Maybe you've retained a little bit of that ability. Just what I know. She didn't say the line properly. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That was quite different and unexpected. Okay. And he's sitting out front for the first time. Yeah, something's very different. And where's Shinobu? What was he burning? uh, Back to desks. Ow. It did indeed. Well, those, but also last night. The subject itself? Yeah, exactly. But she is the subject, and she turns into the cat when she's knocked out. Hi. and Shinobu is not around. Uh-huh. Oh, that was fast. It's all so fast. Damn. The gift of a bunt to the runner, bunt fail. Okay. When do we switch from letterbox to not? Is it after the OP? Yeah, I think so. Yep. Okay. So we start off with Araragi sort of reminiscing about last night and how great it was. He's in love. He's kind of glowy. But then he goes and immediately, first thing he does is grope my oi. Dude, come on. All right. Gets his finger broken for it. It's a pretty great scene. And this face of hers is fantastic. I love it. Is this a reference to something? If so, I don't know what. The style is distinct. So, got Senjo and Hanakawa both helping him study. And she raises kind of an interesting question. Why'd you pick Senjo? You and Hanakawa seem to fit better. And he explains that he doesn't think of her that way. But he does. He kind of does. Is girl, so Aragi's all about that. So this is interesting. Because we're continuing down the thread of like Hanakawa versus Senjo, and it's not that clear cut, of course, but they're both interesting girls in Aragi's life who he clearly finds very attractive. just given his gaze. That's an interesting question to raise. So Shinobu's out on her own. If we trust what Mayoi is saying, and she's not mistaken somehow, it seems to indicate that she's correct. So that's an interesting wrinkle, because we know that she was the key to solving this issue last time it occurred. Aragi couldn't do it on his own. So with her out of the picture for now, that's gonna extend this oddity, I think. They might have to try and figure out a different way around it. I wonder what in Hanakawa's life brought this stress to the fore this time. I don't know. Maybe it's just a thing that builds up over time regardless, but maybe there was something that incited it. Maybe it was Aragi getting with Senjogahara that incited it. That could be an interesting thread. Maybe. Okay. So we continue. We finish Hachikuji's portion, go into the OP. We come back unletterboxed, and I want to see some of the frames here because there were some interesting things. One of which was the cat ears being black this time, which we then saw. Cute cat ears. Biting my lower lip so hard it started bleeding. Don't laugh. Yeah. I can't smile. I will never do something like that. Yeah, whoops. Still, these cat ears. Oh, damn it. They suit Hanakawa up really well, as if they were specially designed to match her properly brushed forelock. Fair enough. I thought that during the Golden Week too. You can say she was born to have cat ears. Built for them. If anything, during the nightmare case that was the Golden Week, her ears weren't really Hanakawa's style. Thus this immense destructive power. Genus body. This time the cat ears are black, the same color as her hair, so they match. Ah, there was another frame there. Oh, okay, it was just the Nishio Oisin. Okay. I love this visual with all of the identical bikes. I love the use of repetition and patterns to set a scene. And because they're layered on top of each other, they can move them around like that and it looks great. My Senjogahara senses are tingling. Okay, so she appears Araso. And he blushes bright red, continuing to use that little lock of hair to his little cowlick to express emotion. I love that. I've talked about it before with like animal girls, or animal characters using their tails to express emotion. I think it came up in Shield Hero of all things. Giving Aragi an expressive like piece of hair is really clever and lets him express himself non-verbally, which is great. Going somewhere? Yeah, somewhere nearby. And this look. What are you going to do there? There's a little bit of suspicion. And we know later that Hanakawa has already talked to her. So she's aware that Hanakawa is skipping school today. So she's aware of where Aragi is going, most likely. It almost feels like a test. Just a little bit. And then we get some fourth wall breaking joke about my voice actress being excellent. Yep. Truly my one and only. I haven't said anything like that yet, but you will eventually. Nice. Okay, then we switch our perspective over to Hanekawa, and we joke about the bike a little bit. Hold on, there's a like destroyed bike. Where is it? There. Hmm. Okay. So we talk about school skipping. What does this card say? Unpleasant. Okay, right. Senjohara will take care of it. And then we start gazing. He does this this overly formal thing, which then gets called back later for the hat. I remembered that I forgot something. So she's aware that something is weird, but doesn't really have all of her memory, so that's fine. It's not that simple. Obviously, there's something weird. I want you to take me to Oshino. We start to see him there. But Araragi doesn't want to rely on Oshino entirely anymore, partly because of that thing that Oshino told him. One day I won't be here, so, you know, you're going to have to figure some of this stuff out yourself. You can't just keep relying on me. So he takes that to heart. He's been having the headaches a lot. Didn't tell him. Haven't encountered any cats. And then this goes to this thing with the radio show, which is a sort of a weird tangent, and it goes on for quite a while, where she tells one of the stories and Araragi explains the joke, and she goes, "Oh, you're great." None of them are very funny jokes or very interesting or seem to be related to the plot. Okay. Don't know what's up with that. And this is some interesting stuff. Paying you back is worth more than our friendship. This is sort of a root for Araragi moment here. Though it also plays into the idea that he's too willing to help other people at his own expense. But it's a cool thing to say. Like, I'm willing to sacrifice our friendship itself in order to help you. That's pretty cool. So even if you're going to hate me for taking off your hat, I want to help. That's pretty cool of him. Okay. No laughing. And then he laughs. And they're too cute. Super cute. It seems like a sequel to Golden Week. Why are they black? And why are they appearing when she's not in cat form? Because this seems to be different, like not something that they've experienced before and not something that Araragi remembers, like having the black cat ears while she's still herself. It seems to have encroached further, if anything. So that's interesting. But we do see that she turns into the white cat form that we've seen before. Okay, she sits. Squish. And he freaks out. Attacked by a vampire, and then she talks about this idea that perhaps he's got charisma or charm as a latent vampire-ish ability, and perhaps that making eye contact with him is causing all of these women in his life to, or girls mostly, in his life to be charmed by him. That's an interesting thought. And he sort of laughs it off. And we see Shinobu over this. And we talked last time, I think it was last episode, maybe 2 ago, about how Shinobu looked differently at, I think it was Nadeko who was talking about this, than she does at Oshino or Araragi. So maybe that has something to do with this. Maybe. Okay. And then this leads to him playfully giving the line that would trigger Hanekawa's basically catchphrase at this point, where she says, "I don't know everything, I just know what I know." But she doesn't. She says she's a lot harder on herself here. I don't know everything. And then this would be followed by, I just know what I know. But she repeats, I don't know everything. I don't know anything at all. Very interesting. So what is he out here burning? Because it's obscured for us. And even in the scenes where we're up close with him, it almost is as if he's holding a cigarette, right? That's what I actually thought was going on at first, because we know he smokes. So I thought he was outside holding a cigarette. But no, there's a pile of embers and ash at his feet. What was he burning and why? I'm sure that it had something to do with Shinobu's absence. Interesting. And then there's some interesting visual language going on here. Like, we don't meet with Oshino inside. Previously, we've gone on this walk before with all the signs around and the chain link and everything. But this time, there's a huge gap between the two sort of supplicants and Oshino, and two, like, solid barriers between them. Barriers of chain link. And then this big black post straight in the center, further separating them. So this is interesting. So he figures it out. Can't really ascertain what that was. It's just a pile of ash. He says he's busy, doesn't have time for them. Okay. Three famous ghost cat legends, the meddlesome cat. He's making fun of Araragi as he goes. No one cares about you. Oof. They get upstairs. Oshino knocks the thing off her head. Says he wants to interact with the subject itself. Araragi is as confused as we are, thinking Hanekawa is the subject. You just knocked her out. What the hell? But nope, we get the reveal and the cat, and it turns into white, and she's a scary cat thing. Boom. Boom. Scary white cat thing. And recognize Araragi. Hi again. As it's been a while. And boom. Cliffhanged. That's okay, because we're going to watch the next one right away. Okay. Pretty standard episode, I would say. Not a lot of super duper interesting things here. I mean, clearly, all interesting. Sucked me in for the runtime, for sure. And it was a couple minutes longer. Felt many minutes shorter than usual. But everything seems to be proceeding relatively normally at this point. Araragi interacts with a couple of girls, goes off, meets Hanekawa, figures out that she is suffering from the same oddity as before, brings her to Oshino, and the journey to try and fix her begins. Some interesting bits and pieces that Shinobu is gone or absent. Don't know where or why. Oshino's acting a little bit different too. And we're continuing to build sort of two threads of Araragi, one being just interacting flirtatiously with other women while he's dating Senjo Gahara, and the other being his extreme willingness to put himself at risk in order to help other people. Okay. Cool. That's all I've got for this episode. If you've got more, leave it in the comments. I'd love to read it. Thank you. I'm going to take a quick break, and then I'll be right back for the next one, for episode 14. See you in a minute. All right, we're back. Let's get into episode 14. What's up? 0 seconds, beep beep timer. And the first frame says resumption. It's a Kuro, a black frame. It's gone very quickly. Why the helicopter noise? Wow. Yeah, what's going on? Oh, she tied her up. Oh, she's on the... Okay. Nope. The root cause. But now? The soundtrack, though. It's pretty hype. Okay. Maybe. Well, he knows about the family, but... Yeah. Or did something else happen? We need Shinobu. Vague line. Indeed. Okay. Ah. So about that. Yeah, where is she? Hmm. Oh, this is different. Okay. Was that cat form Hanakawa and normal form Hanakawa? I assume so. We'll look at it again. Next episode, final episode. Okay. She's a vampire, though. Okay. How far are we flashback? Mm-hmm. Etc. All right, what do you got? It's the same. Oh. Oh, I guess so. I guess it worked. Okay. Okay. So he's recruiting all the girls he's helped so far. Okay. Huh? Okay. Ping pong. Okay. Okay. Baka. Aww. Is that where she was tied? And she's no longer tied there? Hmm. Hiya. I missed that one. Did it say same date? Atonement. Hi. He let her go. No, okay. Crap. Hmm. So, what then? So the meddlesome cat wants to help. Oh, geez, never mind. Oh. Worth it. Let's go with that. Oh, Nue is like a type of chimera, right? Oddities in general? Odd. Whoa. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Not an oddity, but real. Yeah, but an ordinary kid might just eat donuts. Hmm. Is that parallel to Senjogahara? This does seem to be attempting to parallel Senjogahara. But that wasn't the answer she was looking for. What's that? And the source of her stress is... I'm going to call it right now repressed desire. Bingo. Ping pong. Oh boy. So. Ruh-roh. Wow, that was so fast. Oh my god. So this is why that episode was the date. Okay. Okay. Garen does it. Okay. Okay. Many interesting things here. So the first thing that I want to talk about is something that Black Hanakawa said regarding Shinobu. That perhaps, from Shinobu's perspective, Araragi going and dealing with lots of other oddities is kind of akin to a form of cheating a little bit. That's my extension of it. makes her feel less special. And since we just established that oddities are manifestations of unconscious belief, right? Then that would suck. It would drain some power from Shinobu because who really knows about her and would believe in her as something more than just an ordinary girl? Araragi and Oshino, as far as we know. So if Araragi thinks of her only as an ordinary girl, well, that's all she'll be. Hmm. But what's interesting about that is the parallel, because as Aragi has gone and dealt with all of these oddities, these entities, uh, he's also been dealing with the girls who've been suffering from them, right? So on the oddity level, he's been cheating on Shinobu by going and hanging out and fixing all of these oddities. But in a real world level, that's there's an easy parallel to draw between that and the way that he's interacting with other girls while dating Senjo Kahara. There's something there. Interesting. And the second thing is something that I was thinking for quite a while, which is that, and it fits with the way that this new OP is given to us, and it fits a lot of the stuff that we've seen before. Hanakawa's in love with Araragi, and so the stress that's currently triggering the Black Cat's appearance is him dating Senjo Kahara. That sort of, oh. We're going back an episode first before we go through this one. Going back to episode 13 really quick. Binga bunga binga bunga. And then, wait, which conversation was it? I just brain fart. Just poof. Okay. When he's talking to Hanakawa. Oh, friendship. Right. What I want to see is whether, during the conversation that he has where he talks about owing her so much. Countered any cats. The cards. Oh, okay. It was right before she takes her hat off. Your hat. You'll make me mad. And get mad at me. To me, paying you back is worth more than our friendship. But I'm confident that you saved me. So when he's doing this, when he's like telling her our friendship means so much, blah blah blah, but saving you is more important, he's also kind of subtly friend zoning her. Which kind of sucks. Okay. I just wanted to check that to see if there was any like blatant tell in there. Like one of those scenes that cuts to the character's eyes and gets pretty intense, but there wasn't. Okay. So back to episode 14. Oshino hints at the reveal. Yeah, this look from Oshino pretty much sums up the episode. Bruh. Girl likes you. So Black Hanakawa, or the white cat form, is able to act in ways that Hanakawa's oh, what's the word for it? Is it compunctions? That would work. we'll go with that. That she can't allow herself to act in certain ways, right? She wants to keep up an exterior. And one of those things is being overtly forward about her feelings, and so she represses them. But the cat comes forth in order to live out those things and relieve that stress, and is able to act forthrightly. There's a difference between, in particular, between the scenes where Hanakawa grabs Araragi on the bike and when the cat grabs Araragi on the bike. And I think it has to do with, let's go back. Back and forth and back and forth. So let me find that. It's when we're on our way to Oshino. Yeah, okay. Her eyes are closed during this. We just see Araragi's reaction, and we get nothing from Hanakawa. We need to talk after we get off your bike. Oh, all right. Okay. And then when the cat grabs him, she's what I noticed without even looking at it again is that she's staring intently at him, waiting for a reaction, like watching for a reaction, expectantly. Ooh. This plays into a line that I wrote down. When yeah, it happens right after. Ooh, that's so interesting. Okay. Let's find it so that we can actually show it and it'll make sense. It's when she gets on the bike and then he ends up freaking out a little bit. Jaw drop to the floor. Or no, that's earlier or later somewhere. It's elsewhere. Yeah. All right, where's hopping on the bike? Bingo. Closed eyes and then squish, and she is staring straight at him. But it's more even than that, right? And then what he says is, you don't recognize your own power. Or he thinks it. No. Fuck. Where is it? You don't realize your own power, do you? This is interesting. Okay. This works for both the cat and for Hanakawa. The cat doesn't realize her own energy drain power, but that also fits this idea that Hanakawa may or may not be entirely conscious of the power that an attractive girl has on a guy, right? And you could read the scene in both ways. It makes sense in both ways. But it also it plays off of the way that the cat does recognize her sexual power, her ability to alter Aragi's consciousness by being and being close to him. Whereas Hanakawa doesn't indicate that at all. Like, nothing that we saw from her would indicate an awareness of that, at least consciously. That's interesting. Should I really be counting on her? Probably not. So what do you think of us? What do you think of the oddities? She's willing to help. So She has no desire to continue existing as Black Hanakawa. She wants the stress relieved. That's the goal of the oddity here. But that puts Aragi in a bit of a pickle because while he's capable of doing that would end up like forfeiting his current relationship with Senjo Kohara. So he needs Shinobu. Definitely. This is great that Hanakawa, the first girl that we meet, and the first girl that Araragi is shown having eyes for, you know? I mean, the very first scene is him male gazing all over her. Is now the entity and universe that threatens his relationship with Senjo Kohara to some extent. That's cool. That's very cool. And as far as candidates for his affection go, she's at the top of the list for sure. Hanakawa is. So that's sensible. And from a narrative perspective, it's a perfect obstacle to overcome for the pair of them. Because it embodies all of the obstacles that they've been dealing with throughout the course of the series. This is really good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's see how this finishes up. Episode 15. I've got it. It's up. It's at 0 seconds. Beep beep timer. We gonna fight? Love is something you would steal from someone without reservation? There are people who aren't capable of that. Oh, of stealing love? Little cutout Araragi, eh? I don't think that's a lie, dude. Restraint, resentment, pent up anger. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, she was holding it all in, dude. Shit. She's too good. So she puts on the smiling face and then screams into her pillow. Fuck. Oh, there are a lot of flashes here. Timestamp? The lyrics of the OP indicate this perfectly, so yeah. Passionless observer. What was the kanji that burst from her mouth? Okay. Very important person to me. Here we go. Mmm. That's how she acted. Shit. Oh, they've switched places. Love's a powerful thing. Damn. But it can't. Trying to protect her from herself? That's not quite right. Yeah, what's the root? Hmm. Okay. That's new. Oh, there's that thread coming back. So we're conversing with the cat, but it's Hanakawa. Back to the start. Okay, so that's not a factor. Oh. Yeah, so that's not what you've been doing. No. No. A rationalization. A little bit. I suppose, but that won't help it hurt less. Hmm. And what is that? Die? Uh. Uh. Black now. Uh huh. Yep. Okay. Just have to finish the job, I guess. Oh, jeez. Hey, could we get a Shinobu Ex Machina? He has said he owes her his life, so he's willing to go that far to help her. All the threads. Something else you gotta live for. What? I've seen that scene. And I know why someone in my Discord told me to frame by frame a scene at like 15 minutes. And got her and Drainer. The band-aid. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Boom. Part of his shadow. Hmm. But Oshino is gone. And the Culture Festival. And all is well. Okay. Hi. Yeah. All right. For what purpose? That's where they fought, isn't it? And he just fades away. So what was he burning? Mmm. Was what? Perfect. New ED visuals? Or so far lack thereof. 10 seconds remaining. It's just the copyright thing. Okay. Quite a satisfying conclusion. All right, I'm quite happy with that. Frame by frame, 15, 20-ish. See where that puts us. Oh, it's a little bit past that. Save me, Shinobu. Oh, it's actually quite a bit later. It's 16 something. Bingo. And when she kicks, there's a lack of panty shot. So, okay, before we even frame by frame this, I'll let you know where I saw this. I saw this in an unrelated video, which I think was a Digi video. I'm not sure. I want to say it was Digi, but he was talking about it from like an animator perspective, and how the animator snuck a little Easter egg into this bit of key animation, which is stellar and extremely punchy. We cut to the eye trying to follow her movement. These big blurred out handsprings. And kick, and there's a band-aid. Bingo. What, 3 frames of it? One of them blurry? Something like that. Boom, wham, slam, pow. Amazing key animation. Like, look at the hair. Whoa. That's awesome. But yeah, so as soon as I saw Shinobu flipping around, I was like, oh, that's this. That's the band-aid. I didn't know that was in Bake. Chomp. Okay. So, pretty straightforward. 2 possible solutions for Black Hanakawa. 1, get Araragi, the source of the stress and the love interest, to fall in love with Hanakawa, and then everything's good. 2, remove the source of the stress, and then everything's good. So, either we kill him, or we make him fall in love. And for a moment, he's happy to die for her. Going along with what he said before, that he owes her his life. So it's not so bad. But there's one thing he has that's strong enough to be worth living for, and that's Senjokahara. The memory of that causes him to scream out for Shinobu, not knowing where she is or that she's nearby. And she manifests from his shadow. As if to say she's always been nearby. I think this episode, and I think the previous one too, does a really good job of expressing the somewhat contradictory, confused and tumultuous pain of unrequited love. It becomes a love-hate relationship, right? Especially if, like Hanakawa, you're too timid, or in her case, too kind to express yourself, to express your feelings openly. I find it interesting that the Neko repeatedly uses the phrase, maybe that would bottle me up. being given that she is the manifestation of the stress. But the reason she's manifested is because that stress has been bottled up so much. We didn't really solve the problem at the root. Hanakawa's feelings for Araragi are still unrequited and still unspoken, at least by her, as far as she's aware. So while there is a satisfying resolution, it's not for everyone. This sort of, if I can't have you, I must destroy you mentality is a bit real. It's a bit legit. I think it's really well done here. The false face that she puts on, going from the smile to just like in an instant. Racked with almost grief. What was that first cut? Or that first frame? Feather. Old style kanji. Okay. Very important person to me. But there is no boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom thing. Instead, we get that flashback. Purple scene. So these purple scenes are new for today. I think there was at least one or two in the previous episode. I might be wrong on that. Just might be a little bit confused. Wonder what those are. If the black scenes are blinks, I'm still not sure on the red ones. What are the purples? Thinking of Sencho? Gahara? That seems to be it. That is the color that we associate with her. But, yeah. Yeah. When it's explained, when it's laid out from Hanakawa's perspective, you can't help but sympathize with her. Like, why wouldn't she fall for Araragi? And the idea she brings up of a vampire's charm is like something that she researched and read and convinced herself was what was happening. A way to shift blame in a sense. Or to put the blame for her feelings onto Araragi. An easy way to say, like, I can't help it, I'm caught up in your spell, right? It's a deep lie. A lie to herself, too. Poor thing. I think it's interesting visually that she and the character in the mirror switch places. Not sure why though. Or what that character in the mirror is supposed to represent. The inner self, given the patchwork clothing and yeah, I'm gonna say it's something like the metaphorical little girl within Hanakawa, who sees herself as being part of a Cinderella-esque story with a bad family. When Araragi saves her, he touches that hidden part of her that wishes for a prince. She looks up at him in awe. No, I've learned. Don't worry about it. I'll go all the way this time. I'll kill ya. There's an interesting bit of information here. Aragi sacrificed himself to save a dying vampire. So he saved Shinobu. So I'm going to guess that he willingly offered his blood to her. Oh. Interesting. I assume that's something that we'll find out about in Kizu. This whole scene here is a weird one. We go back to the setup of the room that we saw in episode 1 when Hanakawa and Araragi were talking. But this time, even though he's talking to the physical form of Hanakawa, he's talking to the voice of Black Hanakawa, and it's clear from the way that she nyas her nas. I love these long scenes with the lots of like faraway wide shots, putting them up against each other. It tells us subconsciously as viewers that there's going to be a fight here, just based on the way that they're standing and the way that we see them standing across from each other, with the tense wind blowing and all that stuff. And then bam. Start. Indeed. So shit gets real crazy here. There's some awesome animation, and more than that, just like lots of switching up the visual style to keep things really engaging and kind of hype. It's great. Yeah. We get kind of horrifying here as blood sprays everywhere. Oh, you know what? There was some solid focus on the shadow here, framing that as the center of attention, with the characters' faces off screen. Yeah. Ooh, that's clever. That's clever visual foreshadowing of the importance of the shadows. And then there was something else. She said something about you don't have enough of a shadow, go stand over by the light. Wonder why. Because she had no idea about Shinobu being in the shadow. Neither did he. Hmm. I will certainly kill you. And he goes with it for a bit. I'm dying for Hanakawa's sake. Could be worse, right? Itagi. Memory of that night. So, why in the middle of an arc focused on Hanakawa was there an episode with a really important date between Aragi and Senjo Gahara? Well, because it was really important. It was really important to establish the extent of their relationship and that they both love each other before testing it. I think that's pretty cool from a narrative standpoint. establishing the relationship and then throwing an obstacle in front of it. The biggest one so far. It's pretty cool. And what's interesting here is what his worry is, which is not that like he'll die or he won't be able to be with Senjo Gahara. It's that Senjo Gahara will retaliate and kill Hanakawa, and then Aragi's not cool with that because then he's effectively killing Hanakawa, and he doesn't want that. He doesn't want to hurt her. He doesn't want to hurt anyone. He just wants to help him. Yeah, that's the absolute worst way to handle it. Then the girl I actually love becomes a murderer, and the girl who's in love with me gets killed. And I'm like good friends with her, and I don't want anything bad to happen to her. Oh man, the struggle that he goes through. Really palpable. And the way that we've desaturated most everything during the fight, and then almost turned up the saturation of the blood, gives it an extra bonus impact. It's nice. So, Seimi Shinobu, she appears, and just as quickly, she disappears. Silently, without a word. Just swoop back into your shadow. Then everything is back to normal with one exception. That Oshino is gone. Cool. Satisfying way to handle the final arc and final episode. Even though the focus is on Hanekawa, the real tension in question is whether Araragi will be able to remain committed to Senjo Gahara, and he does. It's a sweet love story. Ooh, the music in this episode was really hype. There were a number of uses of that more rocky piece of soundtrack music, especially during the fight and the build up to it. Really helped add to it and sell the intensity. That was cool. Also, visual production is of course on point, and continuously creative and interesting. And then a lot of the like interesting backgrounds and interesting spaces that the characters are speaking in are taken away for this final confrontation. It's much more focused on them, even though we do have these repeated lamps, which are kind of weird and interesting in and of themselves to set the stage. Much of it is just them talking in a mostly empty area, and so we get a lot more direct back and forth, a lot more focus and sort of not intimate but intense. Pretty cool. Well, thus ends Bakemonogatari. Oh, I was gonna look at flashes at like 2:30. Did I already do that? I'm not sure. Yeah, there were some weird ones there. Uh-huh. Okay, I don't think there was anything super interesting. Okay, thus ends Bakemonogatari. 15 episodes. Pretty freaking great. If you can't tell by how fast I've burned through it, like normally a 15 episode show would probably take 15 weeks or so, and it's been less than half of that. Just saying. So that went by quickly because I can't stop watching it, and because it actually goes by so quickly, which again is just a testament to how well put together it is, and the incredible pacing, and the way that information is doled out continuously but satisfyingly. Cool. So I'm not quite sure at this point on order. Just not sure. I know that as far as Ellen order goes, I think Kizu would be next, but there are a lot of people arguing about whether that's the best way, and I'm not sure yet. So I'm not sure what to do about fixing that and becoming sure. So maybe I'll run a poll on my Discord and see what people think is the best option to move forward. I'm pretty confident in saying that it's not going to matter that much, that I'll have an enjoyable experience regardless. The main question is whether watching Kizu at one place or another will remove tension from unexplained things in a different section. I think Nisei. Not sure. In any case, I'll figure it out by next week, for sure. Have something figured out. So the next thing that goes up will be the next section of the Monogatari series. Because we're going to watch the whole thing. Yeah, I'm not just doing Bake. This is going to be the whole shebang. So, yay. And this has been a great way to start it off. Good series. Cool story. Lots of interesting characters. Lots of cool wordplay. Awesome visuals. Great production. Yeah. Great all around. Good stuff. I'm going to hold off on giving it a rating because my opinion of it may change as I see how it fits into the larger Monogatari series. But I would say it's in the 9-10 range for sure. It'll have to simmer a little bit. I'm sure that I've missed a ton of things, even going back through it and then going back through it again during editing each episode. Like, there's so much density of information, both on a straightforward surface level and then on deeper and deeper levels, that I think you could just spend a long time reading and rereading the intent of this show, which is cool. I love shows like that. I mean, you probably know that, considering the way I've reacted to like Lane and Ava and stuff of that nature. Things with multiple layers and multiple readings are a lot of fun. I think this last arc was fairly straightforward, though. Comparatively. But maybe I'm just saying that because I've only seen it once and I've missed all of the other stuff that people are probably seeing on their repeat viewings. I don't know. In any case, end of Bakemonogatari. I hope you've enjoyed the whole series as much as I have. I hope you will leave any thoughts, things that I might have missed, interesting theories or whatever you got, leave it in the comments below and I'll be sure to check that out. Excited to see what you guys have in store. And I'm excited to figure out what part of this series we'll be watching next. I'm, again, not quite sure. So, chill stuff. I'm gonna wrap it up. If like video, like video. If you're not subbed and you want more, there's a button for that. And if you want that to actually work and give you notifications and stuff, then that's the button for that. And if you really like this content or want to support this guy who makes it, that's me, Teeaboo, you can do so at Teeaboo, patreon.com/Teeaboo. So check that out if you want to, and then you'll get a week early access and some other goodies, so cool. In any case, I've been Teeaboo. This has been all of Bakemonogatari. I hope that you have enjoyed it as much as I have, and of course, I hope to catch you next week in whatever portion of it I watch next. Peace.